Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out May of this year. Actually, you know what? Let me look that up. Oh, wait, it's coming out in November of this year. November 19th, as a matter of fact. I have a pretty good feeling I'm going to be picking up a lot of shifts at work. I'm going to have to make up for everybody. Because, brave statement, okay? Brave statement incoming. I could care less about this game releasing. Does not matter to me. It's not because I'm basically 30 years old at this point, but it's because this game is becoming overhyped to hell. I genuinely have no idea how anybody thinks it's going to surpass the expectations that have been set before it. Not to mention the fact that it's going to be a console exclusive, and usually console games you don't get on sale right away. And this game is expected to be $70 to $80 at launch. And even though Rockstar has a record of not really releasing a broken game, they haven't really released a game in about 10 years. So it's entirely possible that GTA 6 is said to be a huge, buggy mess. You're not going to catch me pre-ordering anything that I haven't seen in action, especially considering the fact that there's no proof that it won't be buggy. It's just a trust me bro mentality. And that's just because the entire AAA gaming market and just games in general are really screwing the consumer. If you don't know what digital rights management is, it basically means that you don't own the game you bought or the movie that you bought or the music that you bought or anything digital that you listen to media through, a book, an audiobook. You don't own it. That's what DRM makes sure. It makes sure that the people who sold it to you can take it away from you after you quote unquote bought it from them. I'm sure that you're all aware of the whole issue that came up with the licensing of games with Steam, and now they have to disclose to you that you're not really buying a game. I'm sure you're all aware of the Stop Killing Games movement. Now, I got the secret for you. Little did you know, I came here with knowledge. I came here with facts and logic. The truth is that if you want to get away from the DRM, and if you want to just stop getting screwed over by all these developers and game companies that are trying to take your money and give you a half-baked, broken product that you can rent until they decide it's time to take it back from you just to resell it to the next console. Stop playing video games. No, the real solution is to just switch to PC gaming. And yes, I am very serious about that. If you think that it sounds too hard or too expensive, you gotta change the way you're looking at things. PC gaming is actually one of the cheapest ways to acquire games, but all that money goes upfront into building the PC. I mean, good lord, especially now in today's day and age with the RAM shortage and with GPU prices, in my opinion, still being relatively unfair. You can actually get yourself a PC today, and then with these techniques that I'm going to give you, you're going to be saving so much money by the time the PlayStation 6 launches. And by then, you won't even need to buy new hardware. You won't even need to buy a new PlayStation because your PC is going to be a forever device that you'll always have and you can do many different things on. And over time, you can do tiny little micro fragmental upgrades that will just keep it breathing and keep it so up to date in yours for such a little cost. We are talking about desktop tower PCs in this video. Gaming laptops are their whole other thing. I would suggest looking into the Framework 16 if you want a gaming laptop, but we can talk more about that another time. So yes, it is expensive to get a PC. The prices of everything have just shot up, but your consoles are also shooting up in price. And so are the games that you're playing. But when you get a game with a console, you're getting a digital license, and most times you can only buy those games off of the digital storefront, the one storefront that is offered on a console. So that might be your PlayStation store, that might be your Xbox, Microsoft store, that might be the Nintendo store, the Nintendo shop. But on PC, there are so many different services and so many different launchers, so many different websites you can go buy games from. And on top of that, you've got CD keys that you can find, and you can just get the license to the game at a discounted price. And if you're smart, you could find alternative ways to acquire these games for free. Now, I would never, ever do that myself. Are you kidding me? Why would I ever go on the internet and look up a game that is locked down with invasive DRM and the developer can take away the game from me at any point after I've given them my hard-earned $80? And why would I get it for free, completely offline, to where I own the copy and it can never be taken from me? Well, that's just immoral. I would never do such a thing. And I would sure hope that you don't do it either. But if you did, I wouldn't judge you. Building a PC is great because you can literally just buy the parts that you need, and then whenever it's time to upgrade a certain component for a new game, or maybe you're out of storage, you can go ahead and just upgrade with a new hard drive or a new SSD. It's really as you need it to be. And you might be a little concerned thinking, I don't know how to build a PC. You don't need to know how to build a PC, my friend. You just need to know how to get your hands on a PC. Don't let anybody shame you for buying a pre-build. Don't let anybody shame you for buying used on Facebook Marketplace. Don't let anybody shame you for taking an old office PC and just sticking in a low-power GPU just so you can get more than 4 frames a second on frickin' Minecraft, for example. If that's the game you want to play, that is. If you want to play a real man's game, well then, let me go ahead and tell you about the best place to buy some games. Now, of course, selling the 7 Cs is not the only option. If you really wanted to find yourself a nice game store, I'm going to recommend you go check out GOG.com. That is my favorite place to go find games, and the reason why is because everything on GOG is DRM free. GOG stands for goodoldgames.com, and they've got a bunch of very popular titles, including the Witcher series, everything from Bethesda, Cyberpunk 2077. Remedy has some games in there, so if you're into Alan Wake or if you're into Control, tons of publishers are posting their games on here, and all of these games are 100% DRM free. So you buy the game, you download a copy, and you can even get offline installers, so you don't need an internet connection to install it if you've got really bad internet. And it will never need you to check in on the internet. You'll never need an internet connection ever again after downloading these offline files and installing it. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. In fact, for me, it's to a point now where I will not even buy a game if it is not on GOG. Straight up, if I have any DRM or any license as opposed to an ownership of a copy of the game, I'm not buying it. It just is not happening. Now, there is a slight exception. If I find a game that is only on Steam and there's no alternative way to acquire the game DRM free, and it's a game I'm really itching to play, there's like that 0.1% of the time I'll consider buying it. But even then, I'm not going to buy it unless I'm hit with an epic Steam sale, which if you don't know is something that happens quite frequently on any PC gaming store because we're all trying to compete with Steam. So let's take a look at this game as an example. You got Star Wars. You could only pay $5 for it on Steam right now, which is a pretty good deal. However, an even better deal would be to go ahead and buy it on GOG.com, because while it's the same price, you get to own this game completely. There's no DRM, you own it forever, and if one day your account were to get banned, it doesn't matter. You already downloaded an offline copy from GOG.com that they can do nothing about. It's yours, you own it. You lose the password to your account, good thing you have an offline copy that you downloaded. You don't get to do that with the Steam version. The Steam version is completely tied down with DRM, so if you lost your password or if you got banned off of Steam for whatever reason, tough luck, buddy. You just lost your $5 game that you bought. And if you do have to buy it again, I would highly recommend you buy it from GOG.com. In fact, you should just be doing that in the first place with every game you possibly could. This video is not a paid promotion for GOG, I just really like their website. Sorry to spend so much time on their topic. If there's anywhere else you wanted to go buy a game, again, there are ways to acquire some said games for a great price. Another good example is abandonware. If you don't know what abandonware is another great concept for getting games that are better and for free. If you ever have played Silent Hill 2 Remake in the recent time, you probably are aware that it's full of bugs, it's very stuttery, and it doesn't really quite hit the same notes just as a story or as a directive narrative that the original Silent Hill 2 did in 2001. And if you want to play that original Silent Hill 2, well, Konami doesn't sell it anymore. And that's just frankly because Konami doesn't really care about their fans as much as they care about money. So, if you were to look up Silent Hill 2 2001 abandonware, I'm not going to tell you where to download this file, but technically speaking, it is totally legitimate. It is totally fair to go ahead and just download that copy and then mod it with your own choice of software to get the more enhanced version of the PC copy. Previously, when Konami tried to re-release Silent Hill 2, they put it in the HD collection, they changed out all the voices, they didn't even have complete source code for the game files, and then it ended up becoming one of the worst ports that ever released on the PlayStation 3 for any game, period. let alone a Silent Hill game. But for free, you can get an even better version of the game and have it be in HD and have it moddable to where you can make it whatever type of game you want it to be. All of this can be done on a PC. Now, I'm sure there's some of you that are going to be saying something to the tune of, well, PlayStation just has the best exclusives. Well, the thing about PlayStation is that even though recently they've gone ahead and taken away their development team for porting over their exclusives to PC, exclusives almost always stop being exclusive at some point. And frankly, the fact that you're going to buy an entirely locked down system where a company can just screw you over and steal what is advertised to be your property after you have purchased it is a really messed up system. And I don't know why anybody is continuing to support or defend Sony for these types of practices, or any company for these practices, when you can just hop onto a different platform and access even better games that nobody hears about because, well, I mean, frankly, the market is so saturated and you're never going to hear about these games unless you get into that ecosystem. And to be totally honest with you guys, there is a lot more diversity and a lot more different options when it comes to playing games on a PC. If you want PlayStation to have these options, and if you want them to be as fair as a PC, and if you want them to get rid of their DRM, stop supporting them. Just stop supporting them. Just quit playing the games where you're getting screwed. It's one of the big reasons I quit playing Call of Duty, to be completely honest with you. The maps just kept sucking year after year. It just was the same 2 or 3 maps, and they were just remakes of maps that we just got a year or 2 prior. I was tired of it, and I just said, I'm done. And the sad thing is it's not the first time that I ever gave up on Call of Duty. Back when Advanced Warfare was coming out, and I was a kid, I was like, I'm done. This shit is just the same shit over and over, but it keeps getting dumber and dumber. And then, Modern Warfare came out with Warzone, and I got back into it, and then it didn't even take me a full year or 2 before I just said, this is the same shit over and over, and I'm done. But one of the best reasons I can think of for just ditching consoles completely is that with a PC, it is quite literally whatever you want it to be. And the best part is that the Steam machine that's coming out sometime, whenever, it's just a gaming PC, just like the Steam Deck is. It is just a gaming PC. So if you're able to build a PC or find a pre-built or whatever, and then you load up Bazai on there as your operating system or some other SteamOS clone, you can hook your PC right up to a TV and have that console-like experience. You don't need to be hunched over at a desk if you don't want to. If you hate your controller for your console, if it keeps breaking, if you keep getting that stick drift, a PC lets you bring over whatever controller you want. I mean, you could hook up freaking Wii remotes to this thing if you really wanted to. And that brings me up to another topic of the fact that you can emulate any console, anything that's not modern. So you're not going to be emulating PlayStation 4. You're not going to be emulating PlayStation 5. Tomorrow, you might be able to. It just depends on how fast people can reverse engineer the console and that software in order to give you the ability to experience those games better than what the hardware they came out on provides. With emulation, you can upscale your games to like 4K. Say you have like an N64 or a GameCube or a PlayStation 2. You can upscale those games to 4K and increase the frame rate. And all of this doesn't have to be on like a Windows computer either. You can do this on Mac OS and Linux, and all of it is a hell of a lot easier than doing it on a console. Especially considering the fact that on PC, with emulation and with the fact that it's reverse engineered, you can modify all of these games to be however you want. If you want them to be upscaled, if you want them to be even smoother, there's different aesthetic and performance mods that can be applied to any game just to give you that even better experience. And they're 99% of the time always free. That 1% that they're making you pay for a mod is generally a scam, in my opinion. Whenever GTA 6 eventually does release, I'm not going to be buying a copy of it. I think I will, honest to God, probably just skip out on it. Call it me being too old to give a shit, but frankly, I think that me personally, I just really respect where my money is going, and I don't want to give it to a company that hasn't really been the same since the early 2000s and is just going to ultimately take my money every chance they get and ask me to verify my email address and then verify that I have an internet connection and, make sure I'm playing on the preferred platform so that way they can potentially install anti-cheat and monitoring software on a single player story game, despite the fact that I've already paid the full amount for the game. I don't know. I really just don't need Big Brother spying on me when I'm trying to play a video game of all things. While it may be a great story, I'm pretty sure I can find it for a lot cheaper than $80. And I'm pretty sure I can figure out a way to own a copy of the game and not just have a license of it. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, then get subscribed, because that's what we're all about here. We like talking about ownership and values on this channel. So if that's something you are starting to get into and reassessing in your life, check out some more of my videos. I'll have some linked here at the end. And if you want to learn more about a laptop that operates like a desktop, check out some of my videos on Framework. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.